Good morning.
Yeah.
Can you guess where we are? Can you guess where we are?
Sorry.
You can guess where we are.
I know. Well, of course, obviously. But you know what? Here's what occurred to me as I was making my way to this location. Oh, by the way, this is really bouncy right here. Good thing. I thought to myself as I was getting here, I have never been here before.
Oh.
I've been part of this church now 14 and a half years. Never once have I been here.
Really?
This is a first for me.
Oh, wow.
This is a first.
Congratulations.
I've had no legitimate reason to. I mean, the number of times I've thought about climbing out through that window just to run around would be fun, but no, this is first. I know you've been here a whole lot because you're like, oh, my kid kicked a ball in the roof, I gotta go get it. And I've just been like, well, it's gone.
This is an exciting day. Chris is first time on the roof.
It's a first, so it's big stuff.
Yeah, but let's make sure people know why we're here.
Yeah, of course, because they probably were part of the service on Sunday, whether in person or online, and heard that there's some issues with our roof. That's not a surprise if you've been part of Lakeview for a long time. I mean, we've had leaks; they've been patched, but I'm noticing as I walk around, I'm like, oh, there's a little. It's like, there's a little, what's the word for it? It's not spongy yet, but it's getting there.
It's worth thinking about 3 to 5 years, or 3 years, I think.
I am a little concerned that with me walking on it, it's not going to make 3 years now, and so this probably will not be good that we're up here.
Do you know how much snow weighs?
That's true. It's very true. It's very heavy.
Yeah. So, but anyways, we're on the roof, so this just gives you another visual for why we're looking to the future and having fundraising for the roof to get done. As they said on Sunday, it's not the most exciting project, but it allows us to use this building for so many uses that it gets, and so we're happy for that. So
absolutely, absolutely.
So thank you for considering the project, and hope you have a brochure. If you don't, we can get you one.
Well, a lot of places have rooftop restaurants, and that's really a big thing. Maybe we should just go the extra step and make this a more exciting project.
It would be nice. I mean, it's
rooftop
garden. A nice view, and
we're joking, of course. That's not in the plans at all. We just want to replace it with what we have so that it's going to continue to meet the needs of our church community and providing us a safe, dry, warm place to gather. Yeah. And so that's, if you look at what's most important to us as a church, it's about the gathering. It's people coming together. Yeah. And so this is a good place to do that.
In many different ways throughout the week. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but that's looking back a little bit. Also looking back, you were, I have to explain a little bit more. Kevin said I was sick. I had COVID. I got it on Friday. I think I got it earlier because my wife had it and she tested negative, so I was like, I don't have it. Yeah. And then she tested positive on Friday, so I'm like, I got a test. I tested positive, so then we canceled everything, stayed at home. And so that's why I was gone, and Kevin did a great job preaching. We'll talk about that in a minute, but you were away with...
I took our youth, and I'm like, if there's COVID there, forget it, we're out of here. No, it was already planned months before, but we had our annual youth fall camping trip up at Fintry, and it was a... Every year is unique. That's just the way it is. And so I always wonder what's going to be the thing that sets this year apart. One year, there was like an infestation of baby snakes all over the campground. Ooh. That was something. Yeah. One year, the big thing was glow sticks, and we just had tons of like glow stick. I don't want to say fights, but we got the glow stick juice everywhere. It was really fun. Other years it was, I don't know, whatever. Name the thing. One year was the Northern Lights, as another example. And so every year it's a little different. Mm-hmm. This year it was just a real small, intimate group where we could kind of like get to know one another well. And we also got to know other campers and other sites really well. Probably too well. And that's okay. It was just, everything was good. It was a great weekend. And hey, we got to be out in nature. Saturday night, we went out on the dock before everybody went to bed after it was dark. And just staring up at the stars, right? It was absolutely incredible because out there, it just seems like there's more stars than there is here in town.
Less light around, right?
Exactly. It's just darker and it's just so amazing and magnificent. And it's just a great weekend for that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. Those were great. 2 of your kids pulled out, those that were part of my family, because we had to stay home. So I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. But, it's one of those things.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad that was a good trip. Also, we had a soup and bun fundraiser, soup and bun luncheon. Yeah. That you and I weren't really a part. You got to see the tail end.
I showed up kind of the ringer preacher you had. Really, like, he just mowed through your material, and so I thought we were going to show up just as it was starting. Yeah. Like people in the congregation would have gotten their soup, and then we would just like grab and clean out because youth, right? We just clean up. Yeah. Like locusts. It was almost done by the time. I mean, we were right on time, but it was pretty much. So, but you know what? It was great. It was pretty fun to say to our youth, "Hey, go grab soup," and they're like, "Sweet." And it was nice of the church to put that on, and the people who put that on for us to come home to. It was great. It's a beautiful welcoming. But it was nice. I really got a sense that because some people stayed, that there is still that hunger for meeting together, for just sitting down, chatting, sharing soup or whatever it is, and it gets me excited and hopeful for what the future will hold, right? As we do more of that, as we get into the feasting season, and just sharing more together. So
exactly,
it'll be great.
No, that's. I saw a couple pictures. Asked Lori about it and Kevin about it, and they said they really thought it was good and people really enjoyed it. So thank you for those who stepped in and made soup and helped with everything. That was awesome, and we got to. A lot of us got to enjoy it. So, also, we like to think back of the passage that we covered. This was a tough passage. Kevin's.
Well, you keep saying that, and I'm like, I get that.
Kevin stopped halfway through. He's like, "Thanks, Jeff, for giving me this." But but no, what I mean is, deny yourself, take up your cross, follow me. Yes. Like basically a death sentence, right?
Right.
Like because Jesus was on his way to the cross. Deny yourself. Like, isn't most everything we choose to do for some sort of purpose beyond right now or enjoyment or whatever, and deny yourself, take up your cross? That was a death sentence, as Kevin mentioned.
Well, and a humiliating one, right?
Humiliating,
for the Roman
suffering,
in that world, it was a shameful way to go. So you're not just giving up your life, you're giving up your dignity, you're giving up, and not just yours, but your kids too. Yeah. Because forever, your kids, if your dad was executed via, you're like, oh man, we know his dad, we know what kind of family he's from. And so it was generation upon generation of shame. Obviously not Jesus' case, not having kids, but it was a call for an entire sacrifice of everything.
A reorientation of life to its core.
But it's hard only because our culture is so pro-comfort. And pro in the moment, right? Even I wish I saw a quote yesterday about, and I forget who said it, but that the true mark of maturity is being able to actually delay gratification. And I thought that is so true in many ways, because it is something I think we all struggle with. And I think that's part of it too. That if we're going to, live that, we have to deny what feels good now, understand that God has us eternally. And whatever comes next is so much better than now. And it's okay to be a little uncomfortable now. And by and large in the West, we're talking about degrees of comfort, not actual sacrifice. Like what really are, there's not a lot we're having to really
There are
give
people
up.
That do, for sure. But for many of us watching this and seeing this, even the fact that we can watch this, right?
Right, exactly.
Makes us in that area that you're talking about. Like, we were talking about this passage, and I think it was you that mentioned, was it actually easier for this to be heard in the first century to the people Jesus was talking to because life was hard.
Oh, absolutely.
So like to go to a death for a purpose that's bigger, that's where they struggled. They didn't know the bigger purpose yet.
Yeah.
But then after that, Mark's readers, they would have a difficult life, and then for them to
So if I'm in the Church of Rome, which I think Mark was writing to, right? And I'm already marginalized, right? This is the empire becoming Christian, right? This is like days of Nero and persecution, and hey, burned at the stake, cross, whatever, you're going to go one way or another if you're going to stay true to following Jesus. And Jesus, so it sounds like just know what you're getting into at the start. And it's like, okay, life is hard, then you die. There isn't as much maybe they were giving up.
But the beauty of it, like it is difficult for us to hear, but the beauty of it, I hope, was conveyed that like you said, delayed gratification. We do have to struggle now. You know what? Whether we know Jesus or not, we'll struggle now. That's just reality. But the other reality that the Bible tries to point us to is the fact that God does have a plan for us, purpose in all of it. And if we get in line, then we're moving towards that. If we're not, it's still going to happen, but we're just not in line with it. And so the end result for us is not good. So really it's a beautiful passage, an inviting passage, but it's hard to hear in our Western ears, like you said.
Absolutely. I think if I was to summarize this passage in 4 words, they would be, it's not about me. Right? That's really, I think, what Jesus is trying to invite his followers into understanding here. Guys, it's not about you. It's about Jesus, and this is his way, and are we going to follow that?
And even what Kevin said on Sunday, that C.S. Lewis quote, kind of hinted at that, where if I come to Jesus for my new identity, I'm still coming to it for me. But if I come to Jesus for him, he actually, in the process, gives me. It's kind of like, I was thinking of happiness, right? We've heard so many times, or I have, that if you pursue it, it's just elusive. But if you pursue something meaningful, bigger, you'll find it, right? And so, like, it'll find you or whatever. And one of those. Well, we hope that you interact with this passage, with the people around you and your own thoughts. It's meant to be meditated on. It's meant to be done community, as we keep saying. Life groups are starting up again. If you're not part of one, this is a place where we do that. I'm actually starting with the seniors life group today as we record. It's you'll see this after we've done, but I'm excited to be able to interact with the passage with other people. So
it's great. Hey, just on that, and this might feel like I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't watch all of the service yet from last week, and I know I did see bits of the interview Kevin did with life group leaders and all of that. How does one remind us in case we just didn't see Sunday or forgot, how does one connect with a life group if they're not and they're really feeling like they want to become connected?
That's a really good question. Probably the best way would be to contact myself or Kevin. We kind of are trying to coordinate and make sure that the groups have the leaders they need and everything. We are in process as well as trying to start another life group for some people that couldn't fit into the time slots, or we want to keep them small to begin too, so more people can join, and so that's another we're trying to do. So let us know. Thank you. That's a great question. So so that was looking back. Looking forward, this Sunday is Communion Sunday, so just a reminder that we will have the stuff ready, the elements ready on Sunday, but if you're at home and can't come, just have those ready. Also, tomorrow is, you're seeing this on Thursday, so tomorrow is Friday, September 30th. It's Truth and Reconciliation Day. It's a day set aside, as one website put it. I'm going to read it. It says, to encourage deeper reflection, learning, and public dialogue on the relationship between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. My encouragement as we ponder this day is that we pray for better relationships, that we acknowledge that people are hurting, that we pray for healing, and we ask that the Holy Spirit would guide us in being agents of reconciliation in our relationships. So that's Truth and Reconciliation coming up. Also, Thanksgiving is the week after this Sunday. The plan is to have some pie afterwards, just stay after for a piece of pie and some coffee. So, I don't know, is there anything that we missed that's coming up?
I don't know, it just sounds like you're speaking my love language there, Jeff. Pie and coffee, that's a great combination.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong.
That's the heart of it in the next
next couple weeks. Yeah. So, Well, God bless you. We're just happy to do life together and to be able to gather and to talk and to study the Word together, just grow closer to Jesus, more like Him, as we're being encouraged more and more. So God bless you as you strive to do all that.